everybody, and welcome to another episode of Blood on the Razor Wire TV, where we bring it to you real and we bring it to you raw. Make sure you hit that like button. Don't wait. What are you waiting for? You know it's going to be good, right? Smile. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification button so you get notified when we drop these videos. Today's a special day. I promised everybody I was going to be bringing my brother on. So we're going to talk to him about his life, his experiences in New York State prison and what it's really like. DJ, man, introduce yourself, man. Tell the people who you are, man. Tell them where you're from.
My name is DJ, also known as Clear Boy, from Rochester, New York.
You went to prison when you were a young man, right?
Yeah, 16.
You were 16 years old. What'd you go to prison for?
You know, you were right there with me, boy. Assault.
All right, so you went to prison for assault second. Me and you were co-defendants back then. We went to state prison. But let's talk about the city of Rochester, man, and all the dudes that you were in jail with, man, when we were 16, right? Remember the kid Kilo, Johnny Brown?
Yeah, definitely.
Johnny Brown. How much time did Johnny Brown end up with?
30.
30 years, and he was 16 years old, right?
Now, he was like a year or two older than us at the time. I remember before he actually got sentenced, he had turned 18 or 19 and went to the adult floor, so we were all about the same age, though.
So I want to talk about some of them dudes. Remember some of them young dudes that were down there with us when they were 16, 17 and got a bunch of time?
Yeah. Mac.
How much time did Mac get?
Mac got 25 to life.
I remember Sean Glover, Freddie Glover.
My little man Kurt, he did a 3-9, went home, got a 25 to life. It was a fucked up era, man.
Talk about that era a little bit, man.
It was a fucked up era, man. You know, Pataki came in office, slaying everybody with violent crimes. You know, there was some, you know, it was one of them times in Rochester where it was just fucked up. You know, our city swings, it gets real violent, and then it's just somewhat violent all the time. It was a violent time, man. It was fucked up. They put us through the fucking ringer, man. All them S blocks, you know, the guards were beating the shit out of us at that time. It was bad.
So let's talk about this, though, first. Do you remember when you were on the minor floors in the county jail?
Yeah.
And you could go in on a minor floor, man. Do you remember what they used to call that? Barbecue sauce?
Oh, no, barbecue or mildew?
Yeah. Tell the people what that was, man, when you were 16 years old on the minor floors. What was it when they said they were going to barbecue or barbecue sauce, whatever?
Yeah, it's barbecue mildew, man. It was going down, boy. Somebody was getting hurt.
So you could come in on the minor floors, right? You come in from reception. You walk into what we called the pits back then. And what happens?
White boy separate. Remember the white boy pits and shit? That's how bad it was, man. Remember they wouldn't go, bro. Remember the white boys wouldn't go to school, wouldn't go to their visits, wouldn't go to the gym. Man, we only got 3 fucking times out of that block the whole time, man. You better, man. 1 hour, and these dudes are scared to go. It's bad.
So they had a white boy pit with all white dudes on it.
And pussy black dudes.
Yeah. All right. So on that white boy floor, what, a bunch of them dudes wouldn't go to rec. They wouldn't go to school. They'd sit in that jail pod all day long.
That's it, man. And get extorted from downstairs and shit.
What do you mean get extorted from downstairs? Tell the people about that. I know what you're talking about, but tell the people, man.
Man, you know, dudes downstairs got more serious cases, murder charges, got a deeper voice. These guys are intimidated. Yo, tell your mom to send this money to the account. The downstairs calling their fucking family forum and shit. Like, yeah, send this and shit. I'm making sure he's all right. You know what I'm saying? They're all the way upstairs fucking hiding under their bed from a dude that's locked in the cell downstairs, man.
They couldn't even get to him, and they're giving away their stuff.
Right. I mean, it was intimidating, bro. I mean, a lot of shit was going on, man. The level of violence, man. So if you really weren't prepared for that, man, you were in shock. You know, it was fight or flight, man. And these dudes weren't built like that, man. And they just figured that was the easiest way out.
So you could walk into a minor floor, walk into the minor pit, and they wouldn't just beat you up for no reason, right? There had to be a reason, or would they just beat you up for no reason?
And it was wrecked, man. I seen them down there, man, making kids fight each other and shit, beating them both up, making them fight. And the guards only doing rounds every 15 minutes. It was sad, bro. He was spinning the fucking catwalk, and they'd tell him, shut the fuck up, sit down. And they make these dudes sit down, and as soon as the guard finished walking, they'd put them back in the cell and make them fight each other and then whoop them, and it was bad, man.
So these kids were just doing that stuff just for rec, just for something to do.
Wreck, man. Just something to do.
Unbelievable. So you eventually go to prison, right? You go to state prison. They allege that you were, what, in a gang or something like that, right?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay. What gang was it?
I remember the Bloods.
All right, so they say you're a gang member with the Bloods. Let me ask you a question, because I've seen some white dudes in state prison when I was there that were Bloods, right? And most of the time, man, a lot of them white dudes were kind of like phony, man. I hate to say it like that, but they were soft, man. They were a joke. You ever seen that?
Yeah, it's definitely like that, man. A lot of times, because a lot of dudes, they'll be cool, and then someone will befriend them, and man, this shit wasn't for everybody, man. You know what I mean? A lot of them dudes fold, and they make it harder on dudes that's real. I used to hate that. I'd be in a spot, and you got another white dude that'll come up, and believe it or not, he's a reflection of me, because how he bops is how they're gonna view, how they're gonna categorize. You know what I mean? So I wasn't with that. I was harder on them dudes than anybody else was. I ain't like that. You know what I mean?
In the prison that you were in, you had the yard.
Yeah.
So
Most spots.
Okay, in a couple spots. I know you got a tattoo on your chest that says 5-star. I'm going to try to put that up on the video, right? So, really, man, you're a pretty well-respected dude, man, in that organization and in the prison system, right?
Yeah, for the most part. Like I said, I was never no extreme, guys are wilding out, throwing my life away. I was smarter than that. But I definitely, did a lot of violence,
You lived a rough life, man, and people know you, and I know that people know you. You ever had any dudes in prison, man, pretend they were you?
Yeah, man, it was funny, because I'm like, so, like I said, in my organization, there was, I'm known, so it's not like people know my name, and, so I guess, I came across the homie, he's like, yo, so he's like, yo, you're such. Yeah, man, that's me. He's like, yo, I was just over here in the other block, and this guy was saying he was you, and he's from over here, and all this other stuff, and I'm like, yo, this is madness, man. And then I was in the shoot 200 in Lakeview, and they said he was over in another spot saying it was me too. It was kind of crazy, man.
So it's this kid named DJ. He's from Rochester. I think he lives off of Lyle Avenue area. He was pretending that he was you. Ain't that something?
Yeah, I don't, I don't know. So, it's just nuts. I don't know why maybe he was just infatuated, man. Maybe, he seen the respect that I had and wanted that for himself, man. I don't know, maybe he utilized it to his, I don't know what he was thinking, man. If he would have came across the wrong person, he might have been in trouble, not ready for what was coming to him. Did a lot of bullshit.
So let's talk about this, right? You, there's a statute of limitations. You're good now, but back in the day, man, you grew up rough, grew up kind of poor, right?
Yeah.
So, you turned to the streets, man. You were selling drugs, right?
Yeah.
What type of drugs?
Man, bro, I've sold everything there is.
So at the same time, man, I ended up going to federal prison, for selling crack. You were doing your thing on the crack tip back then, right?
Right.
Dangerous environment, dangerous life to live?
Yeah, definitely dangerous, man.
You ever encounter anyone ever try to rob you, stuff like that?
Yeah. Remember that kid? Remember that dude robbed me around the corner? Said he had hammers for sale. I knew him from being locked up, and we walked around the corner, and he backed out.
A dude that you knew stuck you up for your Sherlin jacket back then, right?
Averex. It was the Averex, remember?
Yep, Averex jacket for a couple dollars, man.
Yeah. And you know what? He felt, but that was his deal, man. That's what he was on. It just happened. We crossed paths. He was already committed. He was hungry, man. It was like. It wasn't like a friend of mine, and you know what I'm saying?
But he robbed. You could have lost your life over a couple $100 in a jacket that day, huh?
Yeah.
A
little bit more wiser now, though. I ain't going around the corner about no guns, about no $200 brand new in the box.
Yeah, for sure. So let me ask you this, right? New York State Prison. How much time do you think you've done overall?
About almost 15.
Almost 15 years in New York State Prison. What's that prison system like?
It's fucked up, man.
Is it dangerous?
Yeah, it's dangerous. You got to put yourself pretty much in the line of fire, though, is what I've came to learn. You know what I'm saying? You start stepping outside, you start getting comfortable, you start doing drugs, you start running up debts, you start getting involved with gangs, you start getting in prison politics and shit like that, and getting that prison mentality about this is your chair or TV and shit like that. That's when the bullshit comes, If a person goes in there and they got the right mindset, they could do a decent bid. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sometimes random shit will happen. You know what I mean? Someone will misjudge you, think you're a punk or something like that, and steal from you or try and take advantage of you, and that comes out.
When you were a younger man, you were in prison. You ever go to bed hungry at night?
What did I? Starving, boy. The light won't go off. I'll tell you some of the worst were right here in Morrow County. Their shoot is nasty, man. The light was staying all the time. I was starving, stomach grumbling. I used to bang on the wall. We used to make a joke out of it. Just be like, yo, homie, I'm hungry. Making a joke out of it. But that's how bad it was, man. Stomachs be hurting and shit, man. That county would tear your ass up in days. You
ever feel like you had to be in a position where you had to try to take some food from somebody when you were hungry?
Hell yeah. Fuck that. You know what I mean? You get to the point where it's like, fuck that. Like, remember that kid? I'd be like, man, fuck that. You you just almost become, you know what I mean? Like, you bitch ass, like, you fucking sitting here sweet. Your mommy sends you everything, man. You're walking around here, man. Fuck that. I'm hungry. Listen, this is how it's going right now.
Was it?
We need what's in this locker. We're hungry.
And you just take it and eat it.
Yeah, we ate that night.
Was that? You ever do that in Gowanda?
Yeah, we did that together, man.
I mean, no, but that's how real it was, man. Because I told people before, man, I wasn't always a nice guy when, we were younger. We were 16, 17. We were in state prison, man. I had some, honestly, man, only to, people usually single out the weak, right? And there was a white kid in there always flaunting, man, had nice stuff, always had a locker full of food. And me and you, we were in there, we were poor. And I do remember taking his food, man, because, I asked him, hey, man, let me get something to eat. He didn't want to give us nothing to eat, so we took it. And that's the life that you live in, man.
And not only that, but bro, even on a deeper note, like when you're going into that type of situation, it's like learned behavior, bro. That's like survival fitness. Like we learned that was okay. That's savage shit, bro. You know what I mean? But in that environment, that's almost okay. It's almost acceptable because you can almost build up a argument for it. Like, man, fuck that. I'm hungry. He's got it. I got to eat. This is where we're at. You know what I mean? And it's just making an excuse because it's savagery, man. They turn us into savages there,
Yeah. I talk a lot about federal prison on my channel, right? But state prison too, man. I mean, federal prison, people think, the feds is nice and all that. They got a misconception, man. It's full of violence, full of stabbings, death, murder. I mean, this shit's real. What about New York? You ever see any dangerous things happen in those places?
Yeah, man. There's a lot of shit I've seen in New York. Bro, I mean, Cashapp was a mess. The second I got there, man, the dudes, it's like a dungeon. They come out there, the dude's beating the CO up with the stick. You know what I mean? The CO's running down the gallery screaming, and I'm like, yo, where am I, man? Like, this is nuts. And then, I seen this dude, this key block wreck. It was mandatory wreck. You know what I mean? It was heavy violence going on between the Spanish and blacks and shit, and all types of shit was going on. So you back up in the cages. They're, 5-on-1 cages and shit, and man, they're not going in there, man. Dude's getting stabbed in there, and he's just screaming, and they're just killing his ass in there, man. It's bad.
Was that a lot of like the Bloods against the Nietas and all that stuff back then?
Yeah.
And it was rough, huh?
Yeah, because man, you were in the state, man. Them Spanish dudes, they really were oppressing people, man. You know what I'm saying? They had their numbers. They had the attitude. You know what I mean? The microwave and the phones and all this other shit, and they got numbers, and it was fucked up, man. You know how it was in them dorms. Think about when we first went to Gowanda, man, how it was, man. Do you know what I mean? Whenever I first went to the yard, they were screaming that shack, Nieta, Nieta. Yeah. Bro, I'll always remember that. You know what I'm saying? They were intimidating, man. There was a lot of them, man. The whole fucking yard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They say, man, there's strength in numbers. You know what I'm saying? But
man, bunch of homies came along and cleared them clean out, man. They seen it. You know what I mean? Cleaned them out.
Do they still have Nietas in the state prison system?
Nah, man, they're not a factor.
I mean, when I was in Comstock, man, the Bloods had ran that prison pretty much, man.
Well, that's probably every prison now, but it's so out of control now that it's like everybody's beefing with each other. Like it's just chaotic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I ain't asking you too many details, but I want people to know that New York State prison is real too, and it's raw, man. And
no, it's definitely, man. It's a shady thing, man. Like he'll have you, especially when it comes down to this gang thing, man. Like the same one that you're fucking eating with every day be the same one to stab you, man. You know what I mean? The same one to cut you and line you up and everything, man. Get you to come outside, like, yo, it's lit. And next they're the one cut you. I've seen a lot of grimy shit, man.
You ever see any, you ever see anybody get cut in the face with a razor?
Yeah, a lot of times, man. They just became regular.
And how about them big old scars they get, man?
Yeah, yo, bro, they started playing with some different shit. They got these ceramic scalpels now. They don't ring in the metal detectors, man, and they're sharp as shit, man. They do a lot of damage. Dude, I was just in Wyoming. It's just a medium. When I came home at 17? Yo, Wyoming was out of control, man. I'm talking about, I never seen such violence in a prison. This is a medium. It was nuts.
Wyoming.
Dropping lockers on people's head. Yo, they cut this dude so bad. I'm talking about, you seen his teeth and shit. Like, it was just, every day it was just, yo, they don't even respect the usually back in the day, no bullshit in the dorm. We'd go fight it out in the bathroom or some shit like that if it had to be. Would you take that shit to the yard and walkway? Not no more, man. They're cutting people in their sleep. They're sleep over there and everything, man. Dudes are sleeping, waking up, cut, getting lockers dropped on their head. It's dangerous. It was dangerous, man.
So, me and you were in Wyoming too, weren't we?
Yeah, for about 10 days.
Christmas Eve, we were there for 10 days and we got it on with what? 15, 20 dudes?
Yeah, man.
That was,
You know, that was some racist shit going on at the time. You know what I mean? We were white, they were black. You know what I mean?
do
They
you
probably
remember?
didn't like the fact we fought back. You know what I mean? We beat the kid up to begin with.
Do you remember what that was over?
A basketball magazine, bro. You remember that?
Yeah, over a basketball magazine, right? You go in the bathroom, you beat the kid up, the kid falls down, he gets a little messed up. Pretty much, I stop the fight. The fight's over. He goes and tells the people we jumped him, which we didn't. And then next thing I know, man, we're fighting 20 dudes in there.
Right.
Do you think we did good?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did good. Shit.
That happened, man. You know that happens often, man. When we were younger, I just want people to know, man, that this is a crazy life, man. This is not the life that they want to live, man. That bad things happen, man. People die in prison. People get stabbed in prison. You ever been stabbed before?
Nah.
You've been jumped before, right?
Yeah.
What's that feel like?
Shit, it feels like you're getting your ass kicked.
It ain't so nice, is it?
Hell no. Bro, I'm saying even worse than that is the mental shit. It was hurting me more about the system in this life, bro. It was the mental shit, man. Being in that fucking box, man, and not having family support, and then not knowing what the fuck's gonna happen. And then your biggest worry is, are you gonna be successful once you return home? Do you know what I mean? Because the prison shit, you know what I mean? Once you've been through it, you know what I mean? But you're constantly getting beat down about, well, how's it gonna work out for me when I get out these fucking doors? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I was in a box before for a cutting. And I was sitting there, man, and talking about a new charge, and I'm trying to write home. Nobody's answering. Nobody gives a fuck. I'm sitting in the box, man. I'm stressed out, thinking like, damn, man, what is life,
Yeah, I want to talk about that. How much time do you think you've done in the hole?
Enough, a lot.
What was your longest stretch straight?
I don't know. I didn't do a lot of straight because I was pretty smart. I didn't really, about 6 months. 8 months. I mean, that's a long time to fucking be in the shoot, you know what I mean, multiple times. But, you got dudes
100%.
doing years and years in that box, man. Them S boxes will fuck you up, man.
Do you think it had an effect on you sitting in the hole for 8 months?
Yeah, the whole shit has effect on you, man. You constantly listen. You know what I mean? You're like everything's a fucking routine. You hear them keys jingle. You know what I mean? What the fucking? I used to hear the sound, the squeak of the fucking belts of the fucking truck coming for food, man. When I was in Collins, S block. You know what I mean? I'd hear the squeak, and I would know that was dinner time, man. It fucks you up. You still associate different things with different shit,
Yeah, 100%. Do you think it affected you, man, when you got out of prison, being locked in a cell like that for that long amount of time?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of times, man. Yo, bro, I had to sleep on the floor when I first come home. I sleep on the floor. I like the whole plastic cups, not glasses. I eat out of plastic. My girl argues with me not argues, but she bitches at me all the time because I eat out of plastic bowls, use plastic spoons, plastic cups. I sleep on the floor sometimes. It's more comfortable.
Crazy, man. It's crazy what prison does to people, man. It's just, I think, man, prison, depending on where you're at and the things that you've seen, the things that you've been through, I think it does affect you mentally and emotionally. And you talked about family support, right? So when you're in prison, I mean, what happened, man? No visits, no letters, no money, what?
Not really, man. It's just me for the most part. You know what I mean? My family ain't really too supportive. You know what I'm saying? I usually have a few friends. You know what I mean? Females, shit, keep me above water for the most part. But I don't like leaning on them too hard, and none of them owe me shit. So it's just really me.
So I've been telling people on the show that I was going to bring my brother on. A lot of these people might think, Dan, this is Chad's real brother. You were my best friend since we were, I don't know, how old do you think we were when we became best friends? 9, 8 or 9?
Yeah, probably about that. I'd say maybe probably 10. I know it was probably like 4th or 5th grade, so whatever the fuck that was.
9 or 10. And, we were inseparable. And I'm going to tell the people how we became close. I was walking home from school, and this kid jumped up and kicked me in the back. And I hit my eye on the metal thing that they sold the newspapers out of, or they kept the newspapers in. And DJ jumped on the kid immediately. He didn't even really know me like that. He jumped on the kid, you were pounding the shit out of him. We were only 10 years old. And, from that day forward, man, we became best friends. And
bro, I remember we kick it all the time, bro. That age, man, that we were beating grown men up, man. 13, 14 years old, man. I was telling my girl, on the railroad tracks, DuPont, man, we were shit, right? Throwing rocks, and people get out, and we'd beat them up and jump them, grown men. And
why do you think we used to do that type of stuff when we were kids, man?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Something to do. What else was there to do? I don't know.
Was it something to do, or was it because, man, we grew up in fatherless homes? We had no leaders. We had no, no father figure. We were angry. That's what I related to now. Now that I'm more educated, I say the things that we did some bad shit to people, man. And that was our way of acting out or releasing our anger or releasing our pain. Do you believe that?
I don't know, man. I think maybe I haven't really thought that far about it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like what the fuck I'm thinking. I just chalk it up as, man, normal kid shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody around us was doing similar shit. I mean, some were extreme. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's part of the thing. I always wanted to be extreme. Do you know what I mean? Like I wasn't just gonna be average. You know?
I hear you.
Like like you said, like instead of just we're getting into fights and shit. Instead of just punching them, I'm gonna grab this rock or this brick or this weapon in an early age and take it to an extreme. You know, I wasn't afraid of that, and that was why I wanted to show my friends and fit in that I was tough and cool and whatever. Do you know what I mean? And that just became who I was. You know what I mean? But at that point, it was just, I don't know, being accepted. You know what I'm saying? As a kid, acting out. You know what I mean? That's the way I fit in, was violence. You know, that 34 school was no joke, man. It was constant fighting from day one. You know what I mean? So it was basically like, fuck, acting out got me accepted. You know what I mean? Got me to fit in, cool. You know what I mean? It was violent. You know what I mean? And I was good at it. You know what I mean? So it was like, fuck it, went off to the races, and that's who I became. You know?
I hear you. And I talk about in my book about people in prison, man, that just go out of their way to commit violence against people in federal prison, stab people for no reason, jump people for no reason, kill people for no reason. And I talk about in the book that people do that because of their anger, because of their pain. And I see that because when we were kids, man, the way that we grew up, we did, man. We beat up grown men. We thought we were tough. We were tough. We didn't think we were tough kids, man. Poor, struggling. And I feel like that was our way of lashing out. I mean, you might not feel that way, but now that I'm more educated, that's the way that I see it. But we're all entitled to our own opinion. But I do see it that way, man. What are some of the prisons you've been in? Let's talk about that. In New York.
Fuck, you want me to do the tour? I don't know. I've been about shit. We started in Gowanda, Wyoming, Green, Cashapp, 5 Points twice, Comstock, Collins, Livingston, Lakeview S Block.
I want to talk about Cashapp. When we were kids, we had that incident, and they sent me to Attica. They sent you to Cashapp. When you get to Cashapp, that was a prison with kids, man, for 16, 17, 18-year-old kids that had 25, 40, 50, 100 years life sentences, right?
Right.
Cashapp was the place. Was Cashapp the place?
Nobody wanted to go there at that time. In the 90s, nobody wanted to go to Cat. Nobody wanted to be there.
That's what
it was known for violence. And it seems like they always put me in them fucking spots. Every time I go to a prison, that's what it's known for at that time. Each prison goes through a phase where there's a certain, a mixture of people, and it has a higher violence rate. You know what I mean? And it seems like every time I go there, that's where it's at. I guess it's for a reason. Maybe they're putting me there because I'm one of them guys. I don't know. Fuck.
So you end up going to Cashapp when we're kids, man. How did it feel when they tell you, yo, you're going over to Cashapp? What did you think?
I was intimidating. All the stories that you hear, like, mind you, I think I was like 17 going over there. You know what I mean? And all the stories that you hear, and everybody else is scared. You're seeing grown men scared, man. You know what I mean? So it was a little intimidating.
100%, man. I went to Attica, and then from Attica to Comstock, and going to Attica, I'm like, oh, and we're from that area, man. We're from an hour and a half, 2 hours away. I knew what Attica was. The Attica riots, all of that. And I'm just like, damn, man, these people are sending me to Attica? Are you serious? I'm 17. I'm not supposed to be here. Do you think the government does that on purpose? Do you think they do that, man? They don't really give a shit about kids?
Yeah, they don't give a fuck, man. Well, you see, they're changing a lot of that shit now, man. You know what I mean? You got to be 18 now. You know what I mean? They give them like special. They give it. It's better now. They know they fucked the whole generation up. They fucked us all up with the shit they implemented on us.
So now, you've been home a little while, man. You just recently had a baby, right?
Right.
Are you living a better life, man?
Hell yeah, I'm living a lot better life, man. I ain't with that shit no more, man. I look back and see it was all foolish, man. Wasted a bunch of time. Even recently, I think back, man. Always the teachers and always these counselors and shit. Always through my whole life, and like, you're really smart. You could be anything you could be. You could do anything you want to do. And I was like, yeah, it's just some shit you're telling me, trying to keep me to be doing good, And I'm starting to realize, man, applying myself to this life, man, I could have did anything I wanted to do, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm doing it now. You know, I got a beautiful house out here in the suburbs, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, get my shit together. I ain't with that, that bullshit no more, man.
So that's a message for the kids, man. There's a teacher somewhere right now. There's a counselor somewhere right now. There's a parent somewhere right now telling the kid, man, you're a smart kid. You could do something with your life. And that's not just bullshit, is it?
Nah, man. You know, I used to think it was, and it's hit me late. Like, man, I am smart, man. You know what I mean? Because I see in day-to-day shit, man. I'm seeing people that I thought were in a different position. I'm like, way smarter than this guy. Why I could be doing this shit? You know what I mean?
Yep. Do you regret it now, not listening?
Yeah, hell yeah. I wasted a lot of time. Wasted a lot of time, man.
You are who you are today, but do you wish you took a different path?
I wish that I ain't had to experience some of the shit I experienced, man. But, at the end of the day, I'm glad of who I am, man. You know what I'm saying? It made me who I am, and I'm proud of who I am, man. I've seen people that been through less, and they're just worse people, man. Just fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Prison taught me to be a man. This lifestyle set me some principles, and I'm proud of who I am, It sucks I had to get it like that, but.
You had to get it like that. You had to go to prison for nearly 15 years of your life. You had to endure violence, commit violence. But if you could put it all in a trunk now, you would put that in the trunk, but you're still happy about who you became, because you mentioned to me numerous times, you said, man, imagine if we grew up in the suburbs, man, we might have been punks and let people slap us or punch us or kick us. And, you've seen that in prison, right? You've seen people get punched and not fight back?
Yeah. But I think that's something to do with soft. That's early on shit there, man. Some people are just, I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't imagine that ever happening, letting that go. But yeah. I don't know an excuse for them.
Yeah, I always felt like that. When I see dudes in prison, man, I've seen 30, 40-year-old dudes get slapped. And I say, how could that dude ever be a father to his son? He let another man slap him and he was scared. I don't care if the warden slaps me, I'm slapping him back, bro. That's how I feel, man. I'm not letting people put their hands on me, man. That might not be the best message. It is the best message for kids, man. No one should put their hands on anybody, right? I believe that. But
well, obviously the that is they, not the thing before they even get to the situation like that. That's the jewel there, man. You know what I mean? Before it even gets to that of putting yourself in that position for anybody even to be able to put your hands on you. You know what I mean? And if you're out acting like a knucklehead and you're doing certain shit, you're accessible to shit like that, man, and you've got to be ready for it. And if you ain't, then you got to live with that slap type of deal. You know what I mean? If you ain't ready to go the distance, just keep yourself and stay in your lane type of deal.
I hear you, man. And you know something, man? Back in the day, man, you'd be quick to just snap on a dude and just do what you got to do and commit violence. But I know recently, man, that you changed, man. You don't always think that way. You're like, I'm gonna get this dude a way out. Let me stop, man, before it escalates.
Because these dudes don't be ready, man, and I'm tired of paying the price because these dudes are suckers, man. You know what I mean? All my life I've been thinking like, shit, what I'm trying to, we gotta have a mutual agreement. You know what I mean? Like you want to commit violence to me, and I'm gonna do it to you, and then I do it to you, and then I'm paying the price for it, man. So it's just like I think for other people, man, they they're selling wolf tickets and shit, man, and I'm tired of paying the price. You know what I'm saying? With my life and my time and shit like that, because I'm just like they just don't know any better, man. At this point, somebody really, have to cross that line and jeopardize my safety, my family's safety. You know what I mean? Some strong morals and principles and shit like that. Other than because I got a baby girl, man. It ain't worth it.
It ain't worth it. You got a baby girl.
It'll get bad. It'll go bad fast.
I hear you. And you had told me that, and when you had told me this before, you had said, you know what? There's an agreement. This dude's talking shit. I'm talking shit. We got an agreement now. You want to do something to me, I want to do something to you. And then when it gets done and you lose, now you call the police on me, you want to send me to jail. And you know what? That makes a lot of sense. And that's why you do have to think for other people. And I want dudes to hear that. Kids right now, man, even females, young adults, man, there's always that person, and I've seen it in prison where that person, they want to talk shit, and then when you punch them in the face, well, they're not tough guys no more. Now they want to tell on you. So before it even gets there, change that, because now they're not just punching people in the face in the street; they're shooting people now. People are shooting people. Man,
this city's dangerous right now, man. Here and there, I go out and about and stuff like that, and I still associate with certain people, and it's just a mess out here, man. The cops are scared. Pistols are everywhere. I mean, and big shit too, man. Big clips, all types of stuff. It's almost scary, and it's just raised aware. Everybody. like, man, everybody wants a gun because everybody has them. So I mean, I don't know how they stop that vicious cycle, because how can you blame someone for wanting to defend themselves when it's the Wild West out here, man? You know what I mean?
Do you feel like the city of Rochester is the Wild West?
Yo, it's wicked out here, man.
Dangerous. And not only, you see what happens is this, and this is the thing that people should also understand. In New York, let's say you kill someone, right? You're beefing with a dude. You kill the guy. He's dead. And now you're going to prison, man. Your cop out. What are the cop outs for murder right now? 15 to life? 20 to life?
Yeah.
And most people aren't, when you're 17, 18, 19, 20, you can't even faith them. You can't even imagine what 15 years is like. So most of them dudes go to trial and end up with 25 to life. They do 25 years. You go to the parole board, and then what happens most of the time?
Well, no, they changed it. They used to get bashed every time, man. Them dudes would get hit and hit and hit for nature crime. But they changed that up now, man. I'm telling you, they've changed a lot of things up. Like I said, we talked before. They changed a lot of things up after they punished the whole generation, man, and find out that shit didn't work. You know what I mean? But now they're starting to see them old things didn't work, and they're changing some things, man. Hopefully it works out for the people who went through it bad. You know what I'm saying? They've been fucking suffering.
I hear you. So look, man, before we close the show, right? Is there anything you want to say to the people?
Nah, I really don't got nothing really much to say, man.
How about a message for the kids, man? I'm putting you on the spot. I didn't tell you I was gonna do this, but message for kids, man. You're a father.
Yeah, well, listen, man. This life isn't really what it's cut out to be. These videos, all this shit that you see what's going on, man. It's really not. It's really not. It's all fucking fake shit, man. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's you alone in that jail cell, man, and it's a fucked up place to be. You know what I mean? You experience a lot of violence, a lot of wicked shit, man. You never know. Your life is not in your hands. You know what I mean? And it can go bad real fast. It took me a lot of years to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Hear this message and shit, and take it from other people's experiences, man. At least listen to it and figure it out, man. It's not what you want to do with your life, man. You don't want to be fucking 43 and just get into it and figure it out, man. You want to figure that shit early on in your 20s, man. You know what I mean? So by the time you're my age, you're already relaxing instead of still trying to figure shit out.
That's what's up. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you coming on the show. I'm gonna tell everybody.
Yeah, I didn't want to do this interview, man. I'm a little bit nervous. I keep fidgeting. I'm more quiet, man. I got a lot of knowledge, man. I like to do a lot of good, man. You know what I mean? I'm trying to do a peer service company and shit. Doing a lot of things, but I get a little bit nervous, and I like to be more humble and quiet. I don't like to be in the spotlight and shit, man. So
I know I've been asking you.
You're lucky, bro. I love you, because I didn't want to do this shit, man, at all.
I've been asking you for months to do it, man, and now you finally did it. I promised the people I was gonna bring you on. So hey, I'm gonna tell everybody, man, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Definitely like the video. Leave a comment. I promise to respond. Blood on the Razor Wire TV. Until tomorrow, we're out.